Welcome to the Editor's Note Comics Podcast.
I think that this world, it needs men that are willing to make the hard call.
Central Maine's best comics podcast, by default.
Ain't no thing like me except me.
Here are your hosts, Zach and Jared.
Maps come with me. No. When do we start?
Welcome back yet again. This might be episode 160. It might be less or more than that. I don't even know anymore.
Don't call it. If you don't know what it is,
I think it's 160.
Then just go with it.
It'll be in the description one way or the other. I might be wrong.
Oh my God.
Welcome to episode 159. That's a buffer take.
Welcome to episode 161, just in case. You just need to, I don't know, come up with a bet. Welcome back makes it sound like you've been gone. Just welcome back to the show. What if it's somebody's first time?
Well, then welcome for the first time. We're not daily show. They're probably all back.
Why don't you say welcome to the show? Or hey, glad you're here with us on the Editor's Note podcast. Or this week on the Editor's Note podcast, we're going to talk about these things.
Who wants to learn some stuff about pop culture that you could easily find on the internet?
Me.
Okay, goody.
Teach me, Zach.
Well, in that case, I guess I should do some announcements first.
Instruct me in the ways.
I forgot that I had announcements.
Oh, you have announcements?
Well, just if you are a local customer, I'm doing a couple of things.
It is Easter week.
Well, recently I did an advertising campaign because a store closed nearby and I'm trying to get people in the store. So to compound my advertising campaign, I'm going to have a 2.5 week sale.
Wow.
I think it's my longest one yet. I don't think I've ever gone over 2 weeks, but I'm doing my longest sale ever.
Ooh.
Up through...
You're building up your sales stamina.
I'm just trying to get people through the door.
That's the point.
Because they just found out through Facebook and Yelp and other people that were playing for ads.
Okay.
So 30% off everything except for new releases through May 4th.
Wow. May the 4th.
Through Free Comic Book Day.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's a biggie. That'll be going on. And also, I'm doing a raffle.
Can't believe it's almost... Ooh, the much heralded raffles at the Editor's Note Comics.
This is a good one. I think this is the best one yet.
Okay.
And that's not even me being facetious. Not like this is the best. It really is the best one.
Okay.
There are 6 oversized Hellboy hardcover omnibuses that cover kind of the whole main series. It's a $300 value, doing 1 ticket for $15 or 3 for $30. I'm also going to draw that on May 4th after Free Comic Book Day.
Wow.
Yeah, they look amazing. It is actually my best raffle I've ever done.
That is your best raffle. Is it for the whole deal,
all 6.
The whole shebang?
All 6.
Wow.
Yeah, $300 value, 15 for 1, 3 for 30. The drawing is on May 4th. Also, a 30% off sale until May 4th.
With prices like this, he's crazy.
I mean, I just want to get new people through the door.
Zach's the hero that we don't deserve. Because we deserve better.
I'm just really upfront about my marketing strategy. Look, I just paid a bunch of money for advertising. It did well on social media, but now I want to get those people to additionally actually come through the door. So, transparent marketing, I guess.
It's overly transparent marketing, though.
No, that's the truth.
You're almost trying to call people suckers.
How? No, if you're getting deals, how is that bad?
I guess that's not.
You're come in here, loser. No.
I'm just trying to
I want to entice the new people.
But now you're not just enticing them, you're telling them I'm doing this to get you here. Just say it, and then the people will.
That's what I'm doing.
The people will come. You should there's got to be something else. You need to do a signing. It's been a while since you've had a signing.
Yeah, because there was construction all of last year.
Well, there's construction coming back this year.
I'm well aware. That's why we didn't have one.
That's why you need to do one now.
We'll see what happens. But as we do...
a signing on Old Hallowell Day.
I doubt it. As we do...
I'll sign stuff on Old Hallowell Day.
Worthless.
No, it's not worthless at all. You shut your damn mouth.
It's actually make things worth less.
Oh, come on. Screw you.
As we do each and every week, we're going to...
There are plenty of people who want my signature.
Start off with...
students on their end of the year forms to say that they've passed their classes.
We're going to do the pop culture news.
That's a valuable signature.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
It's time for the news.
The Lion King had its second trailer.
I liked it.
Oh, I'm glad you gave your thoughts first.
Thank you.
I hated every second of it.
Why?
Because it's a shot-for-shot remake. I feel like I'm watching Gus Van Sant's Psycho. Boy, that one went over well.
It's gonna be fine.
No, it looks like crap. It looks terrible. The shot-for-shot stuff.
They're gonna give you
What
the
is
shot.
the point?
They're giving you the shot stuff now to generate the nostalgia train, and then they're going to be some different stuff. Scar actually wins in this one.
I could care less about that. Also, a reminder, every time we talk about the Lion King, the way lion prides work is every time that another male leaves, the main male has sex with everyone, so Scar banged Simba's wife and mom. I just like to bring that up every time we talk about the Lion King.
This show has already gone off the rails.
I just don't care for it.
Did you like the original though?
At the time, I have no interest in revisiting it. I loved it as a kid.
It's a great movie. I hope they bring back the Tim Rice, Elton John soundtrack and
it was one of
maybe
the first
re-record it.
movies I ever saw in theaters was Lion King. It was probably in the first 3 I ever saw in theaters. And I remember when Mufasa died, me and every other 5-year-old in the theater started bawling. And then my dad shot up like a gopher, like just twirling his head around. He's like, what the hell is happening and why am I here? I guess the only advantage of this live action one is maybe we can really see what it would look like if a lion was stampeded to death. Like, what does that look like realistically? If we're going to do this realistic stuff, come on, show me what a hoof through the eye looks like.
What is wrong with you?
Because I think this is stupid.
Well, so you go and watch Hellboy, which we're going to talk about later in the show.
Oh, I saw some stuff through the eye there.
Oh, yeah. They went for the hard R and fat.
Oh, boy, did they. We haven't also done that one in a while. But yeah, the hard R, they did.
So you're saying you want to see a hard R version of The Lion King?
I'm saying I don't want to see a shot-for-shot remake, and I think it's stupid and pointless.
I don't think you're going to see a shot-for-shot remake.
Speaking of shot-for-shot, or 2 takes, if you will, because it's 2-take Frakes time, baby.
Ooh, Johnny boy.
Jonathan Frakes, known for not doing more than 2 takes in his directing, has signed on to direct 2 episodes of the upcoming Picard show.
I did hear that, yes.
Patrick Stewart on his Instagram, he was putting up like he was going through scripts and whatnot. Not really spoiling anything, but I love getting Frakes back.
Give me some Riker. Can we have a little Riker cameo, perhaps?
I'd be surprised if there wasn't, but overall as a director, I like Jonathan Frakes.
I mean, he directed the best Next Generation movie.
He did. He also directed the worst Next Generation movie. He's done some good TV. He's done some bad TV.
Okay, so Insurrection was handcuffed by a poor script.
Yeah, it's a pretty bad movie. He did just stuff that I've seen him do recently, and this is only personal viewing. I can't speak to other things. He did an episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. early on that is abysmal, but compare this to a show that no one watched, and that's why it was canceled. If you go look at the episode he did of Dollhouse, it's like one of the darkest episodes of television I've ever seen, and it was like, oh, Frakes is doing one. And then they open up with like, this is how we dispose of a body in a bathtub in graphic fashion. It was like, oh my God, what am I watching?
Wow. Well, there it is.
Yeah, I mean, Frakes is great. I'm excited to see him come back. And he's been doing episodes of The Orville, a show I've never seen.
He does. I want to see it. I've heard good things about The Orville.
My understanding is it's Next Generation, but with a couple more laughs.
Okay. What's wrong with that?
Probably nothing.
Exactly.
I've never seen it personally. Confirmed this week was a bunch of stuff we already knew was happening. All of the Disney Plus Marvel shows that we've heard about were all confirmed, even though we already thought they were.
All right.
So Loki show, confirmed.
Yay, Loki. The Loki Hour.
Winter Soldier and Falcon, confirmed. Marvel What If, confirmed. And then the really stupidly titled Scarlet Witch Vision show is going to be called, no space in between these 2 words, by the way, WandaVision.
What about The Odd Couple? They could have called it The Odd Couple.
Terrible name for a show. Just reminds me of that song Double Vision.
There was...
I got that double vision.
That's a good show.
Good song.
Both.
You're looking at your phone, so you're confused.
Well, I was just looking up. Was there like an image to go with the WandaVision?
No, just a terrible, terrible title. I mean, we already knew about this stuff for the most part. The only one that they didn't confirm that we heard about
also,
last
I can't believe
week
you
was
threw shade.
Hawkeye's show.
Yeah, I can't believe you threw shade at the song Double Vision by Foreigner. That's a good song.
I didn't throw a shade at it. I just said it reminded me of it.
But then you sing it terribly.
Yeah, that I couldn't help.
Okay, fair. Okay, so no Hawkeye show.
Well, no, it's just not confirmed. The Hawkeye show has been announced the same way the rest of these have been announced. It just hasn't been confirmed, so I would still assume it's coming.
Maybe get some Ronin.
It's supposed to be the passing of the torch from him to Kate Bishop. Everyone's favorite. I mean, not everyone, but a lot of people's favorite.
Fair.
Oh boy, all of our news is just Star Wars. There's only one other non-Star Wars story.
All right, well, let's get the other non-Star Wars story out of the way.
The Invisible Woman, Sue Richards herself.
Didn't see this coming.
She is getting her first ever solo comic book series. It's going to be written by old Fantastic Four scribe Mark Waid.
I can see right through this.
Mark Waid's run on Fantastic Four was really good. He's a career kind of guy doing comics writing. At this point, he's kind of 50-50 for me. If he likes it, it's good. He's one of those guys where they also will just plug him in like, we need a space filler here, and he'll do it, and he'll do a half-assed job. But he did really well in the Fantastic Four before, so I have to imagine this is going to be one that he's going to kind of back a bit. So I'm looking forward to it.
I don't know anything about the Invisible Woman.
Well, she's been around since...
I don't even know what she looks like.
She's been around since 1961 and never had a series. I'd say it's about time.
Yes. Like I said, nobody saw this coming.
But beyond that...
Come on, that was good.
No, it might have been fine once, but twice was too many.
Okay, that's fair.
It's Star Wars Celebration Week, and there's nothing but Star Wars news this week. or just about.
Well, the timing of it's good because at least you have this week, because next week is just Avengers. It's all Avengers next week. Less than a week out. A little more than a week out.
Yeah, we're
By the time the show comes out, it'll be a week.
9 or 8 days. But a couple of things that come out of this. Star Wars is going to be taking a break after Episode 9. Not even that long of a break. It's like 2022.
I was dating a girl once. She said we need to take a break, and we never got back together, so...
I mean, you'll often go more than 3 years in between relationships, and
That's
Star
fair.
Wars is taking a shorter break than that.
Wow, good for Star Wars. Get back on that horse, Star Wars.
I'm just taking shots now.
You are.
But yeah, so they'll be done until 2022. They've said that Ryan Johnson and the Game of Thrones guys are still working on their stuff, and that's probably what's next, but they're not going to be announcing anything. They've had panels all week. There was a 20th anniversary Episode 1 panel that was very well received, which was nice to see because they brought a lot of the actors out and everyone was very supportive, versus being like, F Jar Jar! When he came out, everyone cheered for Ahmed Best, which is good because Star Wars fans made him suicidal previously.
Did you see some of the memes like at the end of the trailer, which I know we're gonna talk about? No one's ever really gone, and then below it's like Misa live. No,
But yeah,
no Jar Jar for you. Okay.
the big panel was the Star Wars Episode 9 panel, which I watched. Did you watch it?
No, I did not.
Good.
Was it boring?
It was practically unwatchable. They had
Unlike the movie will be very watchable.
Oh yeah. They had Stephen Colbert was out. He was the moderator, and they bring out JJ and Kathleen Kennedy. He's asking them questions, and they just keep on going, well, we can't say anything about that, or I don't know, or you'll just have to wait. And at one point, like, Colbert just like throws his notes over his shoulder. He's like, so I see you brought me out here to ask questions, but not to actually get answers.
Wow.
So that's incredible. That was like 20 minutes. That's so boring. But also, peek behind the curtain for people who don't know this stuff. Like, all these questions are pre-screened. So they picked a bunch of questions where they had to go, well, I don't know. Like, every late night interview you ever see, they have done a pre-interview before that.
Yeah.
To kind of field test it. They did that with this, definitely. And it was just the most boring 20 minutes. And then they brought out Anthony Daniels, and he was real wacky.
Human cyborg relations.
He was real weird. He was all over the place. And then they brought out Billy D. Williams, who's in his 80s and acts like he's in his 80s. So that was another boring 5 minutes.
Wow.
It's nothing against him. He's just in his 80s. He probably had too many Colt 45s.
And 2 zigzags. Maybe that's all he needed.
Oh, I think he probably had a couple.
By the way, speaking of Billy D. Williams, probably my favorite meme that's come out of the trailer.
I know this one.
It's like, I'll get my shit back over my dead body, and then it's a picture of Billy D. Williams
just
laughing
like a maniac. And then they brought out all the new cast, and it was really boring. It was a really boring panel, but we all knew it was going to happen at the end of it, and that's why I watched it, because I just threw it on when I was at work.
Oh, okay. Oh, interesting news. There's been a 5-minute leak of Avengers Endgame.
I wasn't going to talk about it.
Oh, I'm not gonna watch the leak.
It's like watching a fantastic trailer.
Oh,
I watched it.
Was it good?
Keep in mind, I'll talk about this briefly. I will not give even a hint of a spoiler away.
Okay,
I promise.
Please don't.
Well, especially I have the power.
I feel like I'm gonna have to log off of all of my social media starting Monday.
I would. If you don't want to know, I promise I won't even give a hint away. It's shot at like a 45-degree angle on someone's Snapchat, and there are these subtitles that I don't recognize the language of. Definitely something in an Asian country.
Okay.
Which ones? I mean, you can barely see it. It's far away. It's like 45-degree angle. Sometimes emojis pop up. It's annoying.
Okay. That's all we need to know.
Well, I will say this. It like increased my joy quota today significantly watching it.
Did you have a bad day?
No, watching it was exciting and fun. It certainly doesn't ruin the end of the movie. I will say that if you watch it, you will probably ruin the biggest shot of the movie. I would be hard-pressed to imagine that there is a bigger shot than what you see in this footage.
So why would you watch it?
Because it made me happy.
But why did you spoil it for yourself?
Because it was just like watching a trailer. It was just footage out of context.
What do you think of them releasing all these mini trailers and spots and everything, like almost every other day?
There's so little out there. Even watching this, like there are 2 money shots, and there are definitely 2 things that they have hidden very well that I didn't know were going to happen.
And you know one of them.
Well, I was the things that I watch. I'm not going to say what they are, but there are
okay.
definitely 2 things that were very well hidden that I had no idea, which is great, and I'm excited to see it. No, it just made me happy to watch it.
Okay. I don't know if you were struggling with being happy recently, and you
no,
needed some
it's just
little uplift.
No, it's just a nice little happy boost to watch that
Do you
stuff.
need some flowers at work? Need somebody to drop off something for you, like a little joy package?
I mean, spoilers, they win at the end. I still don't know how they do it.
Well, of course they're going to win at the end.
Yeah. But just seeing some of that stuff, there were a couple of big money shots, and I don't know the context of them, and I'm just excited to see it. So yeah, if you watch it, don't worry about it that much. They're not, like I said, one of the shots is definitely meant to be their money shot of the movie, but I had a lot of fun watching it. I don't care.
Well, good. I'm glad you did.
You also, like, people are putting all the stuff up on Twitter. They're like, don't spoil Endgame. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. Everything I saw on Twitter was people screaming about don't spoil it. If you want to find it, it's on Reddit.
The movie?
The 5 minutes.
Oh.
It took me about 3 seconds to find it.
Well, the Cohen, they put out a letter today, too.
They put out one for the last one, too. And like, I don't think anything I said can give you any indication of what happens in those 5 minutes.
Not really. I have no idea.
No, they made me happy to watch it, and I still don't know what happens in the movie.
There you go.
There are definitely spoilers in it that they have intentionally hidden. But I don't care. I was happy watching them. But back to Star Wars. Get off your phone.
Okay,
that's how you found out about that Endgame stuff, though.
I was trying to make myself knowledgeable to the show.
There was a Star Wars Episode 9 trailer.
There was.
So let's go through this shot for shot.
All right, because we all know how much you love shot for shot things.
Yeah?
Yeah, I guess
I
so.
don't know what to tell you.
All right.
This is all theories, nothing I can actually back up. And some fun film terms.
Ooh.
Trailer opens up, we get Rey on what looks like, I'm going to say Jakku. I'm going to say she probably goes back.
It's either Jakku or Tatooine.
But if every single movie, even the last one, which I know is divisive and all that, but they're still following the formula of the first trilogy, essentially. And if we're going to be treating this one like it's going to be Jedi, or I guess now we have to say the full title because there's 2 Jedis now. If it's going to be Return of the Jedi, then we're going to go back to the planet where it started on, being Jakku.
See, I'm not sold on it because of the skiff we see later on in the trailer. That looks like one of Jabba's barges.
I think that's on Endor.
Oh. But no, there's definitely a desert when they're on, like, it definitely looks like
that's a forest moon. It's not actually Endor.
No, but I'm talking about
moon.
You know what I'm talking about, the little
do.
skiff. Yeah, that looks exactly like the same one that that Lando Calrissian was hanging off of, and the Sarlacc pit and all that.
Boba Fett.
Yeah. Boba Fett got screwed.
We see that Rey has reconstructed Luke's lightsaber. The hilt's a little different, but that probably came with the reconstruction.
Well, it wasn't Luke's, it was Anakin's.
Yeah, okay. And we also see that she still has the same blaster that Han gave her in Force Awakens.
Mm-hmm.
And the sequence that we see of the TIE fighter coming down at her, that's very similar to North by Northwest.
Yes, that's what I thought initially.
Yeah, and...
Except for she jumps over the damn thing with a lightsaber.
Which is the first kind of, like, superhuman thing we've seen her do. I mean, we've seen her use the Force, we've seen her fight, but this is the first, like...
real major Force
feat
thing.
of strength.
Yes.
But what that's referred to is a closed frame. And most of what you see in film and television is referred to as an open frame. Like, the character that you're seeing can kind of go anywhere. But in a closed frame, in a North by Northwest, or in this situation, the character is literally trapped by what the lens is capturing. They cannot escape that landscape. So it was cool. You don't get a lot of closed frame stuff. So
Unless you're playing Super Mario Brothers.
Great. We also get Luke's voiceover in this.
Yes.
Which, of course, works. I mean, we know Hamill's in it. It's been announced in the cast list. So we're assuming Force Ghost. Who are going to be the other Force Ghosts? Everyone?
I think there'll be some Force ghosting, yes.
I don't know, because, I mean, you could really throw it out to anyone.
I got Force ghosted once.
Great. But, I mean, are we going to have Obi-Wan? He was in that first vision that Rey had. Are we going to have another Yoda? Probably not Yoda would be my guess, because we already had him once.
That would be a great surprise, little Ewan McGregor Obi-Wan.
Are we going to have Anakin?
I think you're going to have,
Anakin, and I'm going to back this up with something. If you go to a book, I think it was called like The Art of the Force Awakens, which shows a bunch of concept art in there. One of the pieces they had was an Anakin Force Ghost who was going to be in the movie originally. And he's weird. It's not just like the regular ghost. Like, he's not just, a guy, but kind of blue. Like, he kind of vacillated physically in between Vader and Anakin. It was kind of this half mesh thing.
Huh.
It looks kind of disgusting if you look it up. So I would say Anakin is likely.
But will it be who? Who's going to be...
I mean, Hayden Christensen.
You think so?
Well, the other guy's dead.
Well, that's true.
So, yes. I also don't think that if we did Obi-Wan, that it was going to be... what's his name?
Alec Guinness?
Yeah.
He's very dead.
Yeah, he's not coming back either.
No.
I don't know. I think those two are possible. But then do we get...
Well, I mean, at the end of Return of the Jedi, George Lucas did superimpose Hayden Christensen Anakin over...
No one remembers because he's dead. Yes.
That guy.
The other guy. Then here's the silly one. Is this too much of a fan servicey one? If Leia potentially dies, do we get the reunion between the 3 main characters? Do we get a Han and a Leia ghost?
You're not going to get a Han ghost. He's not Force sensitive.
Well, maybe Leia passed it into him.
I also believe that this is my theory.
And now that he believes in the Force, maybe that changes it.
No, it doesn't.
I know.
That's not how the Force works, Zach.
Or maybe it is. We don't know.
Okay. But here's my theory. The shot that we see of Leia and Rey hugging in the trailer, I think it's going to be a flashback.
We're not there yet.
No, but I'm just saying.
I don't know. I don't know how many Force Ghosts we're going to get. I feel like it could be everyone except for probably Qui-Gon because no one cares.
Blue Man Group. That would be awesome if Qui-Gon just showed up.
If it was Qui-Gon, it was like, literally everyone else is more interesting. Why?
Remember me.
In the trailer itself says every generation has a legend. A nice callback to the episode 1 trailer, which had that. For me, when I saw that trailer, this is well back in the days of dial-up. We would have been running off of Windows 95 at the time because we didn't get Windows 98.
Wow.
So this was running off a QuickTime Video off of Windows 95.
Living in the Stone Ages.
And this is no exaggeration, it took 8 hours to download that trailer. 8 hours with our phone line being down.
Wow, it didn't take that long. I remember watching the Attack of the Clones trailer on a PC. Had to on dial up. It took like 45 minutes, but it would I would watch it in little segments. Like a little bit of it would load, and I'd watch it.
Well, that time you were like in a Windows ME.
It was a Windows 98, I think, or was it Windows?
Maybe a Windows 2000 or a Windows ME. You had two choices.
What was the one after? It was Windows XP, I think.
I think that would have been after Attack of the Clones. I want to say that was like 2003.
I'm gonna guess that Windows XP was like 2001. I'm gonna guess.
No, it wasn't. You think they put out Windows 2000, Windows ME, and then XP all within 1 year?
Absolutely, they did. Windows XP was released on October 25th, 2001.
Son of a bitch.
Nailed it. Suck my. Okay, continue.
Whatever. So same text. We get Kylo Ren potentially chasing Rey down in the desert. Although I think this might be a misdirect.
It probably is.
Because we do get like Kylo. It's the same kind of fighter, and we get his gloves inside of it. But just seeing that the fact that they're showing it / hiding it at the same time makes me lean towards a misdirect. Because you could say like, oh man, we don't see his face, we don't know who it is, but we're supposed to believe it's Kylo Ren. So could it be something else?
Could be.
I'm just guessing it's a misdirect.
Well, there's certainly a misdirect on the helmet.
There's no misdirect.
That's not Kylo Ren fixing that helmet.
It's not a misdirect. It's just there.
Oh, but no, it's not Kylo Ren fixing that helmet.
No, it's a fuzzy hand. We see what I'm going to assume is a new Rebel base with an A-wing flying to it. Not much to say about that shot.
Oh, you know what that you know what it reminded me of?
Cloud City, but in a mountain?
No, the place where they were working on the Death Star initially.
Yeah,
in Rogue One. Yeah.
Now we see Kylo Ren in a red forest tackling some kind of guys, which brings up a weird thing that J.J. Abrams loves a red forest.
True, he does.
In Star Trek Into Darkness, the cold open to that movie is
a red forest.
Kirk and Bones running through a red forest. This is a man that loves a red forest. Red is definitely a color in here, though. Like the shot you mentioned of Kylo Ren's helmet being reforged by some kind of fuzzy hand. The color red is in there. There's a red forest. The leaked poster we saw were red stormtroopers. The fighter that we see going at Rey has a red front on it. So red is a definite theme here. I mean, color is in Star Wars. It always has been. I mean, we see Rey's costume has now gone fully white versus in the last one she had a gray costume kind of vacillating between light and dark. But this one we're seeing she's fully on the side of the light.
Nice use of the word vacillating, by the way.
I know words.
You have all the best words.
I don't forgive you for that. Finn has Rey's staff. We also see Poe, who looks exactly like Nathan Drake from the Uncharted series. That's all I thought. I was like, it's just Nathan Drake.
Well, you know.
He loves a scarf and he loves an adventure.
Who doesn't love those things?
See BB-8's new accessory, new toy.
Looks like the Pixar lamp.
Friend Dio. I thought he looked like the lamp from...
Oh, no, from Brave Little Toaster.
Yeah.
Yes, that's who he looked like.
Did they call him Lampy? Was that his name?
I can't remember, but it's
been a while.
Yeah.
I also didn't see the sequel where they went to Mars. Never saw it.
Well, that's a very brave toaster to go to Mars.
His name is Dio, Ronnie James himself.
Holy Diver.
Holy Diver!
Or lesser known, Sign of the Southern Cross.
No, his name is D-O.
Oh, not Ronnie James.
And then we see just a madman in Lando Calrissian laughing his ass off.
Yeah, flying through hyperspace.
Rumor has it that he was supposed to be back in earlier movies, but his acting just wasn't up to snuff anymore, so they canceled him out of it.
Yeah, you're not as good as you used to be, Billy D.
And I also know they made him go to the gym to lose some weight.
Doesn't look like he lost a lot of weight.
I feel like he's like, you want Lando?
Listen, you're going to get all of Lando, because he's been having some Lando Lakes.
I don't know. We'll see how he does. I mean, he's 82. I've seen him at cons and stuff, and the laugh was good, but I don't know how much he's going to bring to the table. I'm a little concerned about that. And this is going to be a little uncouth, I suppose, but also Leia is obviously in this movie, and they said that there was a lot of stuff left on the cutting room floor for episode 7. But if I'm being honest about it, I think the reason that a lot of the stuff was left on the cutting room floor is because she wasn't doing that great of a job acting. She does much better in episode 8, but in episode 7, it's pretty flat and raspy.
I don't know. That's why I feel like it's going to be some flashbacky stuff.
I don't think it's going to be flashback. I don't know what they're going to do with her, but I bet
she is going to help reveal Rey's true origin.
If they left that stuff out before, I'm glad that she's in it, but I'm curious how good it's
Also, are they going
to
to course correct from Rian Johnson saying that Rey is a nobody?
I have a theory about that. That has come out of a recent comic and also the end of this trailer.
Okay.
We see stormtroopers with jetpacks. Nothing to say about that. That's just cool.
Yes.
Leia has Han's medal, or probably Han's medal. She has either
It's
Han's
Han.
or Luke's.
Yeah.
Definitely not Chewie's because he didn't get one.
No, he didn't even get pants.
But we do see Leia with a medal. I'm assuming it's Han, and she's being sad about that. And then we get, I can't believe there's another one. Damn Star Destroyer. Another Star Destroyer.
The Star Destroyer or the Death Star?
Oh, wait. Yeah, sorry. I wrote down Star Destroyer. I meant to write Death Star. That's my notes.
That I think
they
it's-
betrayed me.
See, that I think is on one of the forest moons of Endor, or Endor itself.
I think it's just on regular Endor.
Yeah, it fell under regular Endor.
Yeah, we can't get away from the Death Star.
No, you can't.
It's in every movie.
It's gonna help keep the outlying systems in check.
Going back to that book, Art of the Force Awakens, you can no longer buy it at my store. You could before, though.
Somebody bought it.
There was a plot point in episode 7 originally where they were going to find the downed Death Star, and they were going to have to go into it underwater to retrieve something.
Yes.
So we'll see. And then, sorry, I can't believe it's the Death Star again. But then we get 2 other biggies in there. Then we go to black after Luke's like, no one's ever really gone. And we get Palpatine laughing.
And
The
it's really
Emperor himself.
him. 'Cause Ian McDermott was at Star Wars Celebration.
That was the only good part of that panel. Like, they do the trailer and he walks out and everyone's screaming, just whooping it up.
It's like, play it again.
He did it in his Emperor voice. He goes, roll it again.
I love Emperor voice. Roll it again.
Before we do the title, I want to tackle him. Beyond him...
You can try. When Luke did that, he got his ass electrocuted.
Beyond him just doing that, like, quick thing, he also had a one-on-one interview in Star Wars Celebration, and he said that the laugh that they used was not from something that they filmed. It was something that they pulled out of somewhere. It could have been like an alternate take from something, or they might have pulled it from another movie. But that is not a new take that he has done. Which, this is my theory.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know exactly how the Emperor is going to come back. I'm going to say it's going to be... I don't think he's going to be the one pulling the strings. I'm going to say hologram is probably the most likely one. Like, they have to go to the Death Star, they find a hologram of some contingency plan, like his, like, execute order 67.
You don't think he's in like some sort of evil force spirit?
Possible, but this is what I'm also going to throw out there. For whatever his role is in this movie, I don't think he's filmed it yet. Production is wrapped on this. They're in post now. But the fact that he was like, this laugh was pulled out of somewhere, I didn't even know I was in the movie.
I think you're underestimating his power with the Force, though. I mean, Palpatine did some stuff.
I mean,
Palpatine knew quite a bit.
He could, like, do a hologram. He's like, let me tell you the story of Darth Plagueis. It will take 10 minutes, and it's very boring.
He's probably, if you're reading this, I am dead.
You can try and put an opera in front of it, but it's still really dull.
Yeah, that opera was weird, too. By the way.
But I don't think he's actually filmed or recorded his stuff yet.
I mean, I think the Emperor is certainly... He died.
I think he's dead, too. I think whatever...
But I think he's become more powerful than you could possibly imagine. If you strike me down.
I mean, there might be a thing of, like, continuing life beyond death or something, because that was the whole, like, Sith concern. But I don't think he's done his stuff yet.
I also don't believe that balance has been brought to the Force.
Well, it might be by the end of this movie.
That's the point, I think.
I don't know, though. I don't think he's actually done anything yet. He didn't say that, but just he's like, I don't know where they got that laugh from. And he's like, I didn't even know I was in this movie. With that kind of stuff, I'm just going to go on a limb and say he hasn't actually filmed anything yet.
Or he's just really saying, I have a massive NDA.
No, I don't. I think there's 10 months before this movie comes out. They're going to stick him in front of a green screen and do something.
It's less than 10 months.
Yeah.
It's like 9 months.
And then we got the title, Rise of Skywalker.
Rey's a Skywalker.
I doubt it's that. If I had to throw out a theory for Rey at this point, and this is coming out of a recent Star Wars comic, very recently within the Darth Vader series that just wrapped up not all that long ago, it's revealed that Anakin's origin of like the Immaculate conception and midichlorians and all that crap was the Emperor. The Emperor did that. He's the one that made him.
Yeah.
The Emperor is Vader's daddy. And that's in canon. And clearly these movies have started to pull from the comics a little bit. But I'm going to say Rey is attempt number 2. And the reason that she says like that she can't see her parents in this like weird mirror cave is because there is no one, because she's some kind of another child of like immaculate conception. She's Jesus 2.0.
But we got the answer as to why she got dropped off on Jakku, which probably makes more credence as why it's on Jakku, is like to give some like to help find.
Like they still could have been the people who were in charge of her. Just could have also just been alcoholics, like Kylo Ren said.
Or
they might not have been her parents, but they just might have been crappy step parents.
Or do you think it was Luke's attempt to do that? Or do you think, based on the last movie, he was so disenfranchised with the Force and the Jedi, he's like, screw this?
I don't think Luke knew anything about her.
What if it's Qui-Gon? Qui-Gon's like, you know what? I want a kid here.
No, I don't think it was Qui-Gon. I think that's one of the more unlikely options. But my guess is Palpatine also tried to make Rey, if I had to take a stab in the dark with the information that we have now. And that might be something that like you get on the like the hologram of the Emperor inside the Death Star or something is like,
I am really your father.
It's like, my new apprentice.
And I
am your father. And then I'm like, hey, that is too much of a reference. Dial it back. Yeah. It's like, I created you then. Like, better.
I was a bad dad, and I'm sorry I missed all of your plays and softball games.
But Rise of Skywalker, this is one, I don't really like the title. For as much as like flack as people give the prequels, I love all those titles like Phantom Menace, which was off of an old movie serial, The Menacing Phantom.
Yeah.
Just a quick flippy floppy there. Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith. These are all kind of like pulpy movie titles. And then when you get to, I like The Last Jedi as a title. I didn't really like Force Awakens, and I really don't like Rise of Skywalker, although the title is definitely the least issue with any movie.
Yeah.
I don't really like it, but my theory...
They could name it Stuff in Space, and you're still going to go watch it.
Yeah, my theory, and at this point, it's everyone's theory, so I really can't even claim it as original. Because, we do these couple days after the stuff comes out. But my theory is that the Jedi are done, and whatever this new order is going to be, there's going to be a combination of the light and dark. They're going to be called Skywalkers.
I don't like that.
Sorry, I said that really flippantly because that's what literally everyone else has said.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Then what do you think it is?
I don't know. I feel like...
I think the Jedi are done. I think Luke was the last Jedi.
Luke was the last Jedi.
And there's been all this stuff about how the light and the dark, it's all a bunch of crap, and... there has to be something new, and I think the new thing is going to be a combination, and Skywalker is going to become not necessarily a religion, but a new philosophy that Rey ends up being kind of...
I think it's the redemption of the Skywalker family. I think that's what
it could be both.
Is.
It could also be like
but I don't think they're going to
Kylo Ren guy who has gotten way too many chances redeems himself at the end.
No.
Despite killing Han and Luke, we're still going to give him another chance if the movie gives him...
Technically, he didn't kill Luke. Luke kind of exhausted himself.
I'd say he killed them both.
No, Luke exhausted himself.
And he tried to kill Leia.
Yes, that's fair. But Luke chose to become one with the Force. All right, well, you can have your theories.
Mine is that the Jedi are dead, and the new order is called the Skywalkers. If we're going off of the way that Rian Johnson's movie ended, because the Jedi was this weird, like, secular...
exclusive...
Yeah, like, you can only be this certain way if you have a certain type of blood disease.
That's a really morbid way of putting it. That's describing a movie badly. Hashtag.
Midichlorians, baby. Blood disease.
They're in everything. The Force surrounds us. It penetrates us, Zach.
But the Skywalker thing is that's going to be the one where like anyone can do it. And if you're a little boy on a planet who doesn't want to go get his broom, well, you can be a Skywalker too.
I wish I had the Force.
So if that was my superpower, I'd just use it to help with mundane things. I got to dig a trench. Just be like, Force!
Just Force move the gravel.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do that.
And the deck. By the way, that's coming soon. Like in the next month.
The three of us are not going to be able to move that deck.
I don't know how many people it's going to take. But
it's going to take 15 or 20 people. I don't think you don't understand how heavy that deck probably really is.
I think it's going to have to be done in feet.
I don't think you understand how heavy that deck really is.
Or we're going to have to put it on wheels or something.
I don't think you understand how heavy that deck really is.
That baby's free floating. We're going to float her away. I got to get down there. Unrelated to this. I guess that's Star Wars. Do you have anything else to add to the Star Wars discussion?
I don't have anything else to add to the Star Wars discussion.
Oh, God, that was a lot of Star Wars, and I'm out of tea.
Oh, well, good thing we're on to our movie review.
No, we're not. Because
that's right. I forgot.
Because from here, we're going to go from the negative zone to end zones. It is time for Jared's Sports Reports.
He's running down the middle by the 50. He's at the 30. Bare-chested. The guy is drunk, but there he goes. Oh, and they tackle him at the 40-yard line.
It's time for another Jared Sports Report.
It's not even football season. You can't say end zones.
Hey, I have a list of these, and they're not all going to be season appropriate.
You can
The negative zone to end zones is a good one. We're moving on.
Whatever.
I got 17 of these.
Oh, wow.
I'm not telling you what they are because I don't want you to read them out loud.
I'm not going to read them out loud, but I'm just going to continue to shake my head at how poorly they are. Speaking of poor, the Red Sox are just continuing to be terrible. That's all I really have to say about that. They started a series with the Yankees this week. The Yankees were there. It'd be nice if the Sox showed up. What else? The Bruins are in a little bit of trouble. They're down 2-1 in their Eastern Conference playoff series. Red Sox playing terribly. They did call up Sandy Leon. That really doesn't seem to make a difference in one game, but still, maybe time to get ready to push the panic button a little bit here, Red Sox fans. They just don't look good offensively. They're not pitching well. They're not playing defense very well.
It's the bad old days again.
We're back to, hey, we suck again. Woo! It's like the scene in Major League 2 where the grounds crew is like working on the field like, oh, they're shitty again. It's a good movie. You need to watch it.
I've seen Major League. I don't know if I've ever seen Major League 2.
Major League 2 is not.
I'm actually pretty positive. If I would have seen Major League 2, it would have been like if I walked by you and you were watching it.
It's Major League 1, pretty much. Yeah, it's pretty much Major League 1 with a couple small changes. I don't like what they did to Roger Dorn's character. They totally wussified him.
I don't think I've ever seen it, so I couldn't tell you.
Nope. Let's see. What else of interesting note? Demaryius Thomas is now a New England Patriot. They've signed him, the wide receiver.
So there was an NFL player who's now the highest paid one of all time that popped up on my Twitter today.
Who could that have been? I wasn't really on the Twitter today very much.
Russell Wilson.
Oh, Russell Wilson. Apparently Russell Wilson signed a huge contract. Yeah, I guess so. $35 million contract. 4-year, $140 million, $65 million signing bonus. Yep, good for him.
He made bank.
Yes, that's what the kids say. He made bank. Yeah, that's pretty much really all that's going on in the sports. Oh, Boston.
Except for the NBA playoffs. Upsets happening left and right.
Oh, well, the Celtics won their first game.
They did.
Against the Pacers.
It was 2 halves. The first half was terrible.
Terrible.
It was.
The second half, not so bad.
Great. Looked great. They were up. I mean, they only won by 10, but really they were up by 20 and then just put in all of their bottom of the bench players.
Win's a win, man.
Yeah. Joel Embiid is a jackass. Throwing elbows, only getting a flagrant one that should have been a flagrant 2, and then giggling about it in a post-game
Says the man
interview.
who threw me into a water cooler.
While playing basketball, to be clear.
Yeah.
To be fair, I also think you just slipped. It was mine. Hey, if I had got called for that might have flagrant 1 at the worst because it was not intentional.
No, but you still threw me into a water cooler.
I also didn't giggle about it in a post-game interview.
No, you didn't, because there was no post-game interview after pickup basketball, unless you giggled about it on the car ride home.
I didn't even know what happened. I just heard a crash.
Yeah, I went flying into a water cooler. Thanks.
Like 15 feet. You went a ways.
Well, you hip-checked me over there. You wanted the basketball. I wanted it. You wanted to get it in a dirty fashion. So you sent me flying.
NBA playoffs are upon us. There have been a number of upset games already. Home court advantage seems to mean nothing.
No, of course it does. The series...
And the Celtics are without Marcus Smart, who has a torn oblique.
Yeah, he's probably out for
4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So if they make it to the conference finals, he'll be back, but he will miss rounds 1 and 2.
Yeah, which just speaks to the length of the NBA playoffs. It's mid-April, and these go to mid-June. It's 2 months.
Yeah.
There's 2 days in between games for the Celtics.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that they want them rested and fully healthy and ready to go. Wonder what LeBron's doing.
Making Space Jam 2.
Yeah.
And making Friday the 13th and doing that TV show he's producing.
Oh, the something mile?
Yeah.
The $1 Million Mile or whatever.
The real reason he's in LA. Not to play basketball.
No, it's just convenient.
So I can also make millions while doing TV and movie stuff.
You just had the Boston Marathon this week.
Yeah.
That happened. A couple celebrity runners. 7-time NASCAR champion Jimmy Johnson ran in it. He ran just over 3 hours. But the most impressive one was Joan Benoit Samuelson. She won it 40 years ago. She's like 60 years old. She ran it, and her goal was to be no more than 40 minutes slower than her winning time. She was like 25, 30 minutes slower. She ran it in 3:04, 3:05.
I know her a little bit.
At 6 years old, she was an Olympic gold medalist.
Well, she's a little bit of celebrity in my high school just because both her daughter, or I don't know how many kids she has, at least one of her daughters, if there are more than one, was in my grade, and her kid who was there afterwards, he was a couple of grades below me.
Yeah, and I mean, she hosts the Beach to Beacon every year, and
yeah, so I know her a hair just because, you know,
through osmosis.
Well, she did stuff with our school because her daughter was in my class.
Yeah. Plus, I mean,
also the town.
Yeah. Also, she's an Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah.
We all know how you feel about Olympic gold medalists.
Only you do, and that's not a story we need. Actually, I just told him I didn't care. I guess that's the end of that story.
Yeah, that's...
You said, do you know who this is? And I said, no, and I don't care.
In so many words.
And that's exactly what my words were, and then he was all uppity about it.
Well, I mean, he's a 2-time Olympic gold medalist.
And
Show him some damn respect.
I didn't care. I guess, is that it for sports?
That's it for sports.
Don't introduce me to people at bars, I guess.
Don't take you to bars, I guess.
All right, from there was a movie that we saw this week, and based off of the box office numbers, we're the only ones that did.
It made $12.
Basically.
It was a pretty full theater, actually.
Oh, it made nothing. We're going to do non-spoiler and spoiler reviews for the Hellboy 2019 reboot.
I'm the best there is at what I do. But what I do best isn't very nice.
It's time for an Editor's Note podcast review.
There's really not much to say for non-spoilers because there's not much in the way of plot of this movie.
No, I mean, there's an evil sorceress from back in King Arthur's time, and they're trying to defeat her again, and Hellboy goes through some existential crises.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're making it sound like he has a character arc. I must have missed that.
I'm just trying to generate one.
If you saw the trailer, you saw everything. And I mean that in a very literal sense. Like, if you saw like these crazy big money shots of like, oh my God, look at that. A lot of that stuff you saw, that is as long as those things got on screen.
There was no...
If you see big monsters in that trailer, that's literally every second they were on.
There was no shower scene.
Shower scene.
It was I think the Red Band trailer, he was in the shower. It was like a shower of blood.
I don't remember. I'll believe you.
Oh. I mean, I did get up to go pee, and I didn't really miss anything, I think.
No. This movie, one, it's being panned horribly, but coming to its defense, I don't think it's nearly as bad as what people are saying. It's dumb, and it's bad, but it's pretty fun.
My feeling is, I wish if I could go back in time as a time traveler, I would have been a hard no. I'll wait till I will wait. I will wait to see it in a cheaper fashion.
Well, all this movie is I mean, throw plot out the window. That doesn't matter here. That's
I totally forgot something in sports reports. Tiger Woods won the Masters. There we go.
All right, great.
You know how I forgot it? Because I had to go to see this damn movie. I could have watched the friggin' Masters, but no, I'm watching this cinematic thing.
All this movie is it's set pieces. They go, hey, wouldn't this be cool? Hey, wouldn't this be cool? Hey, wouldn't this be cool? And then they went, connect them somehow. It's also this script is also 100%, I don't know this for a fact, but I guarantee it. This was definitely originally written as Hellboy 3, because they go to the apocalyptic stuff that they'd been building up to for those first two movies, but then they stuck an origin story in front of it once they realized it wasn't going to be a sequel. So it's a sloppy script. It's just set pieces they thought were going to look cool. They put way more effort into figuring out how to kill people creatively than they did anything else.
Yeah, there are a couple of...
It's gruesome.
Yeah. They, like we said earlier in the show, they went for the hard R.
This movie is going to be the Punisher Warzone of this decade. If you don't know that movie, it was the second Punisher movie. It's kind of awful, but it's very gory. But there is a very hardcore cult following that picked it up later on, like Patton Oswalt champions that movie constantly at screenings. Like, there's a hardcore group that love it, and I feel like that's what's going to happen to Hellboy. Everyone, all the mainstream is going to hate it. It's not going to make a single cent, but 5 years from now, sucker's going to have a cult following.
It's going to be hard to put that movie on TV.
Yeah, there's nothing... all 20 minutes you can show? Because all it is just them cursing and blood.
Yes.
But what's funny about this movie is they were like, you know what? Nudity is a step too far. There's like one side boob, but that's it. I'm like, really?
We missed two post-credit scenes.
Did we?
Yeah.
We left. I don't care. Didn't look them up. Don't know what they are.
I don't know either. I looked at I had to reread the plot summary of what I had just watched to kind of understand if there was a plot.
There wasn't.
But it said at the end there were two post-credit scenes, which lend the fact that there will be more of these movies.
Yeah, that's a joke. There won't be.
You don't think so?
No, this movie was third in the box office its opening weekend.
Behind Shazam and what else? Captain Marvel still?
Little? No, Captain Marvel's like number 8 in the box office. Little, it's big, but the opposite. I think they called it Little. Where a woman goes into it, like she's a lawyer or something, and she gets turned into a little girl's body.
Oh, like Freaky Friday.
No, there wasn't a switch. She just got little. I told
so
you.
It's big in reverse.
Yes, I already said that.
Oh, okay.
I said that twice at least.
Okay.
It's opposite big. A movie you haven't even heard of beat out Hellboy.
Yeah.
Opposite big.
Opposite big was better than Hellboy at the box office. All right, let's go to our patent review rating system. See it in theaters, red box it, or don't even bother.
I'm going to give it a solid red box it if you are looking for some weird violence, because that's all this movie is weird violence. If you like seeing a weird, gory thing, also the CG isn't great. In some points, it's downright terrible. But there are a couple of cool set pieces with practical effects. It's not fully CG. Baba Yaga looks great. That was a fun scene. Like visually, that was great. There's a half pig man who's he's a half pig man, but he's also half animatronic, half CG. He looks good.
Yeah, the pig man looked good. I was like, Bebop? No. Yeah, Bebop.
Yes. But a hard red box set, but only if you like over-the-top gratuitous violence.
Yeah, I'm going to have to concur. It's a solid red boxing if you're looking for something violently fun.
Like my wife didn't go with us, and I'm real glad she didn't.
If you were to like rate it on a scale of us or Emily, it's a more on the us scale. Or like Zach, I'm in the middle. Zach is the far to one side. Emily's on the other side. I'm right in the middle.
I think
it's a Zach.
I would have enjoyed this a lot more 10 years ago.
I don't know. We're jumping into the spoiler part. I mean,
what's there to spoil?
Right out of the gate, it establishes that this is not the last two Hellboys. They rip an eyeball out of somebody's head, and the third word in the movie is the F-bomb.
All right, let's go into spoilers then.
Look out! There's spoilers ahead!
I mean, what is there to spoil? No one had an arc.
No,
there's one character that has a small arc, Damio, who's played by Daniel Day Kim, who can't do an English accent to save his life.
No.
I like him as an actor. I've enjoyed him in basically everything I've seen him, but this is the first one where I was just like, oh, that's not British.
No, I like
there was even a couple of lines where I'm like, was he even doing it? Was there even an accent on that one, or did he just say it?
I liked Ian McShane as the professor. I thought he was okay.
Yeah, but he gets saddled with the worst effect of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
If you've read the Hellboy comics, which to be fair, I have not read all of them, but he dies like in the first issue of the first Hellboy, like immediately. He's dead. So whenever they do these movies, I'm like, he's going to die because he always dies. But there's another character who has the ability to kind of temporarily reincarnate the dead as ghosts. There's kind of a rotting body and their head is on top of it. And these were so clearly two different special effects. Like the body looks one way and then it's just this rotting, decaying, kind of transparent thing. It's just Ian McShane's head on top of it. I'm like, that don't look good. That is one of the worst effects I've ever seen.
He is dead.
And it's not even there for like a couple seconds. It's like 5 minutes. I'm like,
it's a big piece. It's probably the most character development Hellboy has in the whole damn movie.
Like, what does Hellboy really learn in this movie? The movie starts and he goes, I probably shouldn't destroy the world. Should probably just keep on doing my own thing. And what's the message he gets by the end of the movie? Probably shouldn't destroy the world. Should probably just keep doing my own thing.
Yeah.
That's Hellboy's arc. Damio at least has an arc of, if I let the monster out inside of me, I guess I can smile sometimes. Also, how does getting attacked by a leopard turn you into a weird leopard demon?
It's a man-eater. It's different. It's a possessed leopard.
Okay, great.
Thanks. Yeah, come on. I knew that.
There's another character whose name...
I just inferred it.
I've already forgotten her name. The other character like picks up powers and you think it's going to mean something. It doesn't.
It was kind of cool. She was punching like...
the ghost out of you.
The ghost out of zombie witches.
But it didn't mean anything. Mila Djokovic is fine. She's probably just happy to not be doing a Resident Evil movie.
No, but she chewed it up as the Demon Queen.
Blood Queen.
Blood Queen.
Blood Queen.
Blood Queen, yay!
There were also a lot of, and I shouldn't say a lot because it's only just started coming out. This week there were reports of kind of a tumultuous set with the director and producers of like the producers really wanted to kind of like swing it around a bit and be like, you don't get say. So like they fired a cinematographer that he really liked doing, I guess, David Harbour as Hellboy, who, by the way, I did like as Hellboy. I guess he walked off set a bunch because they were like, do another one. He's like, nope. And also the director wasn't given final cut, and there was all these other weird arguments that all started coming out this week.
That really doesn't bode well for your movie franchise.
after it was just getting banned.
Well, really what they should have done is just let Guillermo del Toro keep doing the movies.
We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. He just didn't want to, which I guess is fine. He just wanted to do The Shape of Water.
Yes, and he won an Oscar, so.
Yeah. This movie is getting one of the worst kickings I've seen a movie take in a while.
Yeah.
It does not deserve what it's getting. It's not good. Let's not confuse those two things. It's not a good movie.
Of the movies we've been to the theater to see in the last year, it's near the bottom of the list.
Yeah, it's not a good movie.
I felt dumber having watched it, to be honest.
But this is also one of those movies. It's bad and it's dumb, but I was never bored. And there are some sequences that are legitimately fun.
But there weren't enough of them connected.
Like he fights giants for a couple minutes. That was awesome.
Fun.
He fights a luchador. That's awesome.
He impales a luchador on the ring post.
That's awesome. There's a betrayal by some weirdo Ponzi knights. That's awesome.
Those were kind of cool.
They have that weird headdress. And did you see that twist coming where they all turn against him?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, did you? I didn't see that coming.
Absolutely saw it. Oh, no, 110%.
No, I didn't see it.
I thought the one thing that didn't happen that I thought was going to happen was the professor was behind.
No, I never would have believed that because that's the whole thing.
Yeah,
his humanity is like what gives Hellboy his and all that. So I never would have seen him turning.
No, but I totally saw those knights turning on Hellboy.
No, I didn't. He's like, it's a good spot for an ambush. Like, yes, it is. And they just stab him. And what I love about that scene is if you compare it to
that was telegraphed, dude. That whole thing was telegraphed.
The Ron Perlman stuff. Like Ron Perlman is basically an unbeatable tank, and when they're going at David Harbour's Hellboy, like it's visceral. I'm like, how is he still alive? Like he's feeling everything they're doing.
He's a demon.
And then he has to fight 3 giants. It's an awesome sequence.
Lobster Man.
Lobster Johnson.
Oh,
he's in the front.
That's one of the cuts. That's one of the post-credit scenes was Lobster Johnson.
Oh man, I like him. That was Thomas Hayden Church.
Yep.
He's basically the Phantom of the Hellboy universe is what McNulty kind of based him off of. He's just a Nazi killer. Hellboy really doesn't like Nazis. That's one of my favorite parts about the Hellboy books. He's just like, Nazis, punch him in the face. But they do the flashback of Hellboy's origin, which is very close to the comic visually in a lot of ways. I also feel like Hellboy is now in Spider-Man territory. Like the next time you don't get to do the origin, we've seen it enough.
That's fair.
If we've seen it identically twice, that's enough.
I mean, near the end of the movie, you exclaim out loud, they ripped that man's face off.
They did. They ripped a man's face off.
They skinned a guy through a concrete pillar.
But if you see the trailer and that you see all these big monsters walking around London,
they kill everybody.
Well, that's all you see of them. Like what you see in the trailer, that's it.
I would have liked to see Hellboy fight one of those things.
No, they walk for a little bit and then they go away.
Yeah, they get sucked back into the hell hole they came from.
That's like how Hellboy has to decide whether or not to, destroy the Earth. They treat it like you made the right choice, Hellboy, by not destroying the Earth. Meanwhile, hundreds of people died while he was just standing there going, "Ugh."
Oh yeah, London is in ruins.
Well, no, the ruins all got fixed.
Most of them. There was still fire around London afterwards.
All the dead people are still dead.
Yeah, they're very dead.
Hundreds died while he was having a little bit of a crisis to just keep on keeping on.
Yeah, or the fact that he's related to King Arthur.
That's weird. I don't know if, again, I've read a good chunk of Hellboy. I've not read it all, and I don't know if that's a thing.
He's now the King of England.
Oh, by the way, if you do want to read Hellboy, which is actually what I'm doing right now, because they're very convenient, the Hellboy comics are great. I love them. I started reading Hellboy like 2007, 2008 area, and I did this with a couple of things. My plan was I'm just going to read it till it makes sense, and I never quite got over that hump with Hellboy because Hellboy comics, they're always a mini-series or a one-shot, and they're all told crazy out of order. So my plan for maybe a year and a half, maybe 2 years, I'm going to read it till it makes sense, and it just never did. But what happened recently is there are 4 omnibuses that you can get for Hellboy if you don't want to do the raffle that I'm doing, which is also basically the same stuff. But they released in soft cover 4 omnibuses, $25 a pop. It's a great deal of all of the Hellboy stuff in chronological order.
Oh,
boy, now I understand it.
Good for you.
Yeah, I mean they're super cheap, and it's basically 25 years of storytelling for the. You can get all of it for the price of one regular omnibus. It's a great deal. Do that. I have them for sale in the store.
There you go. Nice plug.
But they're great. And also, that raffle that I'm doing, 1 for $15, 3 for $30, all of the oversized hardcore omnibuses.
Get those
6 of them.
Tickets.
$300 value.
Wow. And you could have it for
$15 or $30.
Or if you decide to choose more and pay more for it.
Or that.
Anyway, let's move on to letters to the editor.
Yeah, that's Hellboy. It wasn't very good, but it was fun.
Yep.
You can't say you didn't enjoy some of those scenes.
I did have some fun. I had my Twizzlers and my popcorn.
All right, letters to the
I
editors.
am going double Twizzlers for Avengers because it's 3 hours.
I know. Oh boy, I don't want to bring that much liquid into that movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and void before I go. I'm not gonna hydrate before the movie at all.
We're going out for drinks before the movie.
See, that's a problem.
So drink hard liquor. It's less volume.
No, because I don't want to be drunk there.
I don't think you know how liquor works.
I definitely know. You drink it and then you get drunk. That's how it's not
Pace
freaking
yourself,
rocket
man.
science.
All right, letters.
Tell me how liquor works. Jesus Christ.
Lot of questions, number one. Damn few answers.
Here's another one of your letters to the editors.
Make it so.
When Disney runs out of live action movies, what are they going to do? Of the live action remakes. Once they've done Pinocchio and Sleeping Beauty and
Snow White.
Yeah, once
you met the Seven Dwarfs in live action. We had that. It was called The Hobbit.
Great. What are they going to do after that? Because this is a clearly uninspired time.
Live action Toy Story?
Oh, boy.
No, you can't do live action Toy Story.
I don't know is my answer.
Well, they've told most of the... I mean, what classic stories they have left to tell?
There's still a couple. I mean,
yeah. Faust. Do you know Faust?
Yeah.
Yeah, Faust, that'd be great. Another Fantasia?
There we go. That's the one I was searching for. I mean, what you couldn't even do. That's a weird anthology movie with brooms.
They've done 2 Fantasias.
Never saw the second one. That's the theme of tonight. I didn't see the second one.
Well, the first Fantasia is iconic.
It's a showcase.
It's iconic.
So is everything else Disney has done for a theatrical release. That's the thing. Did they start getting into like Lion King 2, Simba's Pride?
No.
Do they sequelize this stuff? But
No,
they do it differently?
No, they don't sequel. I think that they
do
ultimately their bread and butter is
they're doing
animation.
But they're doing it with Maleficent. There's going to be a second one of those.
Yeah, but I don't. But Maleficent.
Can you have Beauty and the Beast 2, The Beastening?
They were like multiple Beauty and the Beast movies, animated movies.
They probably were. I don't know.
Yeah, they were.
Weren't they all? Has there ever? And I don't know this. Has there ever been a theatrical release Disney sequel? Or are they all direct to video?
No, there've been some theatrical release sequels, I believe.
I don't know.
Toy Story, for instance.
And that wasn't Disney. That was Pixar.
Yeah, but Disney Pixar.
Not back then.
No, whatever.
I'm saying off of the classic, and by classic, I'm throwing that word out loosely because it's going back to the 90s.
That's a good question. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of what they could do for...
Because they're doing a Mulan. They got to do Hercules. I mean, that's still an original one.
Only if it has Kevin Sorbo in it.
He's a bit old.
I'm just trying to think like the classical, like, fairy tale, Brothers Grimm kind of story they haven't told. You know, it'd be kind of neat if they did like a... But I don't know if it'd play well as a theatrical release. It would be like an anthology of like, because they've done it before. Like they've done the Three Little Pigs and stuff, and like a compiled like they've done Alice in Wonderland.
Well, they needed a sequel to that,
Mary Poppins.
Which I think my guess is going to be once they have done all of their mainstays. I think we're going to start
Little Mermaid. You think they're going to do a live action Little Mermaid?
They're doing a Little Mermaid, and Lin-Manuel is doing the music for it. I'm watching the shit out of that.
Oh, okay. Now you judge it. You judge everything else, but you love. Because Lin-Manuel's involved.
They got Lin. I'm in. I'm in for Lin.
As long as they have Under the Sea in it still. That's a great song.
I couldn't tell you. It's not out
Kiss
yet.
the Girl. It's another good song.
I don't know. My theory, and they're starting to do a little bit, is that we're going to start seeing original sequels to this material. Because no one cares about any of the direct-to-DVD ones. If they think they have a potential franchise, my guess is we're just going to keep seeing the same crap over and over again.
I still feel like they got to tap into some of those classics. They're still
almost out.
Yeah, but there's still good stories to be told. Or have they told all of the good? I mean, there's that theory that there's only 7 stories really to ever be told.
Yeah, I think that's crap, but I know that.
Like the 7 classic stories, though.
Yeah, I think everything's been done. It's all about how you do it. It's not the same thing.
You get live action Atlantis.
Yeah, they started doing like Titan AE live action.
Didn't Titan AE have like Creed was in like the trailer to that?
I don't remember. I do not remember.
I'm gonna have to, after we're done, I'm gonna have to find whatever.
I'm gonna Redbox Titan AE.
Yeah, damn right you are. Digital download that. Instant streaming.
Or YouTube, but it's probably just on YouTube illegally.
That's probably true.
I don't know. My guess is going to be sequelizing this stuff, hopefully in new ways, because as much as I don't care about live action remakes, if you can tell an original story beyond it, do that.
See, I don't think you can tell an original story beyond that, though, and not have it fall into the realm of having to go straight to home video.
I don't need a Lion King 1.5. To be fair, I don't need a Lion King remake. I don't know. It's all crap, and I don't care.
Yeah, I think we'll see it. You'll probably see a live action Pinocchio. You'll probably see. I don't know.
But this is post
I just can't.
all that. Are they just going to be done?
No.
Are they going to turn down a moneymaker? That's what I'm saying. It's going to be sequels.
But
I don't think it's
going to be moneymaker. I don't think that they're going to be moneymakers.
They will. People will 100% show up. I don't think they're going to be the ones that were from before. It's not going to be like Aladdin and the King of Thieves. It's going to be...
I'd like to see another Tron movie.
So would I. I don't know. I say sequels, and you were just digging your heels into the sand and saying no. Even though you know that they're not going to stop doing
No, they're
going to
still,
money.
yeah, but I don't know if they're going to do live action sequels.
Probably. That's my guess.
You can't get away with live action sequels. You're going to need to have the same stars. With the animated sequels, you could get different voices in there.
They're not dead. They just made all these.
No, but what if the stars don't want to be involved in it?
I bet they signed multi-picture deals.
Well, that's stupid on their part. All right.
Do you not want millions? No.
I mean, I do want millions.
Yeah, exactly.
But at what cost?
The cost of Disney live-action sequels.
Oh, well, that's all I got. I'm spent.
Your answer is still nothing, but that's fine.
Well, I can't figure out. I don't know what my answer is going to be. I feel like they're gonna find. I'd like to see them do a classic, epic animated feature again.
They're all going to cross over Avengers style with the whale that ate Pinocchio was Samuel L. Jackson.
No.
Geppetto did it then.
Damn right he did. I still think that I'm just trying to think of what story they haven't done, but I'd love to see them do a classic style animated movie like they used to do.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
Well, whatever. You're such a downer.
But that'll do it for this week. If you want to get this show a day early, you can find it on patreon.com/editorsnotecomics. Also, Buffy, Angel, and Firefly reviews are up exclusively on Patreon. That's just 33 cents an episode.
It really is. I like how you usurped my lines to pump the Patreon.
Oh, you can do it. I don't care.
Well, no, you've already done it, so I'm not going to do it anymore. But if you do $5 a month, you can be a Duke or Duchess of the podcast. We'll see Sound Guy on next Friday. I'm excited to see Sound Guy.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/editorsnotecomics. Again, this show a day early, plus those 3 Patreon exclusives, spoiler and spoiler-free reviews of Buffy, Firefly, and Vampiro.
There's a freebie up right now, actually. Because the new series is kicked off, we put out a freebie episode that you can find see if you're into that kind of thing.
Was it the number 0?
It was the number 0. So 33 cents a show. That's not a bad deal.
I won't ask you about it because that should be a Patreon exclusive. Zach's comments to himself.
It's like a half-hour show.
Wow.
It's long.
This has been a long show today. Also, if you want to visit the store, 210 Water Street in Hollowell, 30% off everything between now and May 4th, plus the Hellboy Omnibus raffle.
All 6 hardcovers.
$15 a ticket, 3 for $30. That's a hell of a deal.
$300 value.
$300 value. So
they are awesome.
So you could, spend $60, get 6 tickets, and if you get it, then you've saved yourself a lot of money.
They're good. And you're on Twitter.
@JuniorRich.
We'll be back next week. We're going back to do something we've never done before.
Then how can we go back if we've never done it?
We're going back to the 60s.
Okay. So you should say we're time traveling to the 60s to do something going back to do something we've never done before.
Spider-Man.
Why are we doing Spider-Man right before it's Avengers week next week?
Yeah. Well, maybe there's a Spider-Man in there.
No, he's ashed out.
Oh, that's right. He's dead.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a movie coming out in July. You're right.
No, he doesn't. It's all a ruse. Wouldn't that be something if he was actually dead and the trailer was just to mislead you?
That would be the greatest trick the devil ever pulled.
No, it was convincing the man he didn't exist.
No, convincing him Spider-Man did.
That'd be a tremendous troll.
I mean, it's not real, but yes,
No.
That would be amazing. All right, we'll be back next week.